Hello there, Hero of None again. Giving a small tutorial on stealing for several reasons. One of the reasons is in my previous new players video, I had a couple people commenting that the sound had issues or something like that. Don't know if it was for everyone or not, but at least I'm doing this to try to supplement that. Additionally, I've had a lot of questions on the forums. How's the best way to make money? Can you make a lot of money in stealing? What do you do for stealing? Where's the best places to go, etc. So I figured I'd handle some of that tonight and kind of go over it. I'm going to start off with my Hy-Vee here, my VR14 DK, with some stuff here. Simply because I had some of the stuff finished off on the later areas, which I want to show off. In addition to that, it's also has some good gear on it as well that I can show off. Now, first off, when you're looking for gear or sets to use, you can go with something like Nightshade, or another case is Night Mother. This stuff here will give you this set here will give you a 2 meter reduction and reduce sneak cost. The other Night Mother, which is not this stuff here, instead will also is a 5-piece set that goes also with I believe daggers, or it's Nightshade that goes with daggers. Yeah, I forget which. But that's another 5-piece that will also give you a reduction in 2 meters. In addition to that, you can also go with different racial paths, like Khajiit, for example, and Bosmer, I believe, as well. Get a stealthy bonus, which will increase or decrease its stealth radius, and also, give some extra damage in stealth, which is kind of nice for Nightblades as well. Nightblades are another good class to do it, but hey, I'm just a Dragon Knight on this class, so I'm just going to go with that for right now. And under the Ledgerman skills line here, you get a couple of different abilities you can take a look at and invest to. One of the good ones here is Improved Hiding, which will give you an additional seat cost. Trafficker, which will increase the number of items you can sell, which is extremely important when you start getting very successful at this. And then Light Fingers. If you want to do pickpocketing and you're noticing that your pickpocketing is very very low in the chance, you have to get the Light Fingers and then raise it up. That raises yourself up quite significantly in that. Locksmith is another one you can do, but typically that's used more like quick opening. I usually recommend people actually pick their locks rather than just forcing the locks open, because if you're going to deal with anything advanced or medium, you kind of got to build up that skill. And if you're a new player and all that stuff, Locksmith, it's not going to help you early on. My recommendation is put stuff over into hiding. In addition to that, you also probably want to go into the light armor side here and improve sneak, which will give you better reduced costing on sneaking, as also reduces your chance to be detection. So right now I'm just starting in Vulcan Guard here, which is a starting area for AD. You can start with any starting city here, but again, what you're looking for here is the easy way to do this is just look for any sacks, crates, or anything else that has steel from here, and just take a look around. Like, you can get green glasses here, green items, blue items, etc. Just looking around for some of these items. Now, you're not going to trigger a guard just by looking, okay? Unless you're opening a chest or something like that, no one's going to react to you taking anything from this. You see? Now, you want to be careful where you're going to be looking, though, because if you take a look at something and then you leave it and then you come back to it later after looking at 5 or 6 other ones, you're going to notice that it's all of a sudden empty. Like, somebody looted or something like that. Now, the system in this seems to be like, okay, if you look in it, you have a few chances before it's going to come in there and do that. However, let's say we take a look in this here. Barrels are another good place to look here. Now notice, these guys are now empty. We just checked these, and they're gone. So if you see anything that you want, stop, don't open up anything else, wait a little bit, sneak, and then steal your items there. Now, the other items that we're looking for here are lockboxes. Lockboxes come in a variety of locations. I'll let you take a look online. They have maps on all of these places on where to look and how to get them. However, when you're trying to look for them in the starting cities, like, okay, here's one, right? You're gonna be facing stiff competition against everyone else. Good thing with lockboxes is they have a high chance to have like blue items in them, as well as some purple items, gold, and some green items. So here we're getting some gold and some hairpins as well. Now, regardless of where you get them, anything that's green is going to be 100 gold. Anything that's blue is going to be 250 gold. Anything that's purple, I believe, is 750, but somebody else can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. Let's go in here and see if there's anything good. Again, take a look in trunks. Don't skip to look in, you know, backpacks and crates. Honestly, if you're looking to like fill up your quota, best place to look half the time is looking in these crates and barrels. Like, you can only find so many lockboxes until you get into some of the end areas as well. Okay, again, here you're looking at this one here. You can also find different recipes and all that stuff. Grab that, and you can also steal that. Learn it, and you don't have to pay anything for it. You don't even have to launder it. Now, I recommend don't bother with most white items. There's very few times that you can find a white item out there that's actually worthwhile. And I believe in some of the previous tutorials that other people put out there, they probably put recommendations out there like, you know, going up there and just grabbing a bunch of merchant, what do you call it? I apologize. Like a bunch of merchant, like armor, you know, swords, equipment, etc. That can work, but the problem is that they've severely nerfed the cost or the sell price of it. So steal that. Steal that. Now anything that we steal here, okay, is going to be leveled up to us too. That's another important thing to note. So, you know, we just stole all these items here, right? Notice the item price is pretty significantly low compared to what the normal one is. However, you get all these things and it will match your level. So I'm VR14, this is going to be VR14. We'll see in my other character a little bit later that it's going to match the lower level that we have. But the good thing with this stuff is if you need to get some something for like a crafting grid or something like that, you can just take this stuff and go to the blacksmithing station. Go to that stuff that you just stole. Start grinding it down for different equipment. Where's that woodworking? Oh, yep, the woodworking station's up here.
Move, move, move! You think the Daedra are going to wait for you?
Now, as long as you're doing that, you're able to get mats back to yourself, and also get a little bit more skill in your crafting skills when you do that too. So it doesn't hurt to do that. Now, I should have mentioned this before I came in here, but usually the recommended locations I have for most people to take a look at their, you know, where to steal stuff is any town that you find is going to have, or any major city, I should say, it's going to have a Mages Guild, a Fighters Guild, and some type of bank, palace type of area. Those are going to be your main places to take a look for, like, various items. Because this stuff will have, like, a lot of dressers like this. Usually also have a couple weapons you can steal. You know, just a nice central hub for all this stuff here. You may also have to go to the second floor on some of these areas. But once you find a home that works for you, you can usually find a pretty good rotation on this. Additionally to that, Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, and those palaces also have chances to drop, you know, multiple of those lock chests. Let's see if we find one up here. Again, we're in a starting city, so it may be a little hard to find some of this stuff right now. But I figured it's a good place to just start off and get people used to it. Okay, so we'll head over to the Mages College over here. Okay, let's see here. Now, not all places are better than the others, though, too. So, keep in mind that you may also find, like, the areas that you come in here. The rotations don't meet your flavor. You have a lot of people coming back and forth into areas that you usually want to steal in.
Greetings.
And sometimes you have a lot of this. You're looking around here, you're trying to find a lockbox. But since there's so many people here that probably already ransacked everything that you were looking for, you can't find anything. That's fine. I mean, realize starting cities are a kind of a bad place to be looking for lockboxes. Your best bet in most starting cities is simply looking around inside most of the
Hello there.
the houses for different drawers and dressers and see what you can find. That's typically what you have to do. We'll go to the bank here, though, just to take a look and show off some of that extra stuff there. So that's a green item there. So you can see everyone else is here is trying to steal a bit of things here, too. But you see, we have a lot of stuff here that we can sort through and see if we can find something. Now, you may also find, like, crates and sacks. They always seem to, like, give you, like, crafting components. You're kind of like, well, what's the point of going into this basket here? What's the press? You know, this never gives me anything good. Well, honestly, it is random. Sometimes you will get green or blue items from this. Not always, but... And... See, we're seeing different things in here. But nothing that we really want to grab.
Get out of here, lawbreaker.
Okay, so this is a starting city. I'm not going to go into pickpocketing right now. I'm going to wait till I get on to Alt to show that off because, honestly, I don't want to bother with it on this character as it is. Get all this stuff, damage and all that stuff showing off how lousy it is at times. But what I want to show is the recommendation I have for most people when they're trying to steal, if you're pre VR levels, okay, is the high level zones in here, and you want to try finding any zones that will require people to instance in or phase in because they have an active quest. A good example here is Dune and Aranthia here. Like, coming into this area, this has a quest line that goes into it that usually gets locked out because Daedra have taken over. And when Daedra take over and all that stuff, there's not as many people around. There's, basically they don't want to go in there because they have all those monsters around there. You're not going to see any low levels in here. As long as you complete the quest and all that, though, you're going to see it's perfectly open. You still have items here that you can steal. Let's see if we can find anything here.
Don't chase trouble, or it will chase you.
I'm gonna go up here this way again just to head up this way here. I believe this is the Mage's Guild. Yep. Now, you're not going to find a whole lot of competition here. Still the different sacks and all that stuff. So if you want to check around here for, just for different lockboxes and all that stuff, you're a little bit better off. I'll show you one of my prime spots here in a minute. But just showing off in a little bit lower level area. They can actually hit when you're not VR levels. But the ultimate place you want to go to most times, I have to say, is probably in any high-level VR zone that, you know, the highest VR level zone that you have to get to. Usually requires that you actually complete Cadwell's Silver or something else like that. But if you get into it, it makes it a lot easier trying to get in here and get some money. Let's go into this tavern here. Taverns are another good place as well. Here's another lockbox. Now I'm going to show you guys another trick on this as too. Notice that you can go right on top of the lockbox here, but you might be spotted by other things. Getting yourself situated back. Going back into stealth. Gotta wait for it to go into hidden, okay. Now I'm back here. This is going to block me from moving forward. And look at that, I get a couple blues out of it. And that trick also works around corners, through curtains, etc. Let me see if I can find another good spot here to show it off.
Well,
Another good reason that inns are kind of good as well is the, they're not in every town, but they have a lot of treasure drawers and all this other good stuff. Makes it a little bit easier trying to find stuff. Now, you notice that some of these here, like, it doesn't show as stealing, and that's probably because, like, part of this goes hostile, part of it doesn't. It still doesn't hurt to take a look into it. You have to get replacement pit lockpicks and a few other things there, too. Now, since I'm Elder Dominion, my recommendation for most Elder Dominion people is Bankarai or Alcaria Desert. One of these two. Or even, Wayrest is a kind of a nice spot because it has so many houses to it as well that you can break into and take a look at. But really, any one of those three areas work. And one of the reasons it works is because when I come down here to, like, Hallin's Last Stand, which I'll show here, the reason I like Hallin's Last Stand is it has several lockboxes, is locked because a quest will be that of an occupation exists inside of here. So you're not going to have people just running around doing this unless they've already completed the quest. Makes it really nice. But like here, yeah, you got safe boxes here, here.
Curiosity is
Like in every one of these stalls, you can have lockboxes pop up. In addition to that, you have taverns here, like this one, which will typically have one or two.
hello.
Usually one right about there. Mage's Guild here is kind of hard to steal from in the location they give, because it's like right behind the counter to get anything. You see this? This guy kind of goes back and forth. You have a couple of things up there.
This is unbearable.
Taverns in here.
Captain of corruption.
This one can be a little bit tricky here. Usually you have one here, then maybe one there, one or two inside one of these rooms here. So all that is pretty simple on all this stuff too. You can find lockboxes all over. You find containers all over. Lockboxes, I usually recommend only take the ones that you know you're not gonna get caught with. If you're caught stealing from a lockbox, you should immediately exit. Don't steal from it and get yourself out of it. Simply because it helps you a lot more. I'm gonna show you what I mean up in Banker right here in a minute. Or, sorry, I should say up here in Evermore. Now notice, when you're stealing, the guards are not going to get you unless you have a bounty on you, which we'll go over bounties here in a minute, but I'm showing you guys how to do this with hopefully without getting yourself caught. Evermore is another nice place because it has mages guilds, it has taverns, and it has a palace as well that you can steal from. Also, it has also has a few things like I like to show off, which is Grand Soul Gem things. Now, another way you can earn a lot of money is getting these Grand Soul Gems and filling them up, which I'll show you how to fill those up pretty quickly here in a minute. But the important thing here is first get yourself undetected, get yourself out of this guy's range. Now you're going to have one of these in every town as well. He usually has one back here. Alright, let's take a look at that next one here. See another 100 value item. But we're looking for another lockbox here, and I'll show you what I mean by opening and not by escaping out of it.
Greetings.
Now we're in the Mages Guild here. This usually has about 2 to 3 lockboxes as well. None up there. Is there one down here? No, jeez. Where are all the lockboxes today? Wonder if somebody's running ahead of or running ahead of me here. See, I'm always a step behind here. Drat.
I grow tired of whining travelers.
Alright, let's see if we can find a lockbox up in this area here. Actually, you know, Fighters Guild over here is a pretty good place as well. Okay, you got a lockbox here, right? Try getting ourselves, like, undetected. Okay, now let's see. We had somebody come in here, escape, and get out of it. Reason being that if you get spotted with trying to pickpocket or picklock one of these, you're gonna get a fine. You can finish up the picklock. However, even if you open it, escape out of it immediately and then wait for them to go away. Why? Because if you don't steal any of the items, it's only about like a 68 gold bounty that you're gonna get. If you do steal the items, it's going to go up significantly more. As you can see here, we also got a ton of items up here. Or at least a ton of containers up here that you can use. Yeah, sometimes you get some, sometimes you don't get some. Now here's an advanced one, right? As you notice, I have a very low chance to just automatically open it. And even with the ability to do so. It's only going to be limited. Now, advanced here is going to give me some of this stuff here, but... You know, sometimes you can get purple out of it, sometimes you don't. Now, if you keep on getting bad items, and, you know, poor gear and all that stuff... Another thing you can do is invest up into your champion point system, up into the Shadow. Shadow here has Fortune Seeker, which is going to increase the amount of gold you find in each one of those treasure chests, and then Treasure Hunter, which is also going to increase the quality of it. However, again, most people don't go down this line because it doesn't have great passives to PvP or PvE stuff. However, some of the stuff they use here is pretty nice. Tumbling is a great ability to have, especially when you're in PvP. The Shade is another one that reduces stamina when you're in stealth. Elusive is alright because it reduces duration, but you shouldn't really be getting yourself snared, feared, or disoriented if you can help it. Defile is alright, but not severely great to compare to some of these other ones here, but you can put enough into these here to get 75 points in to get Treasure Hunter if you really want to. I'm sure people have a build to make on it. Now, let's go over into Cyrodiil real quick and show you something on what I just showed you with the Grand Soul Gems. Now, in PvP, in every area, you're going to have a training area. It's going to have target dummies and siege weapons. And AD side is over on this one. If you're on EP or DC, again, just look for the training dummy areas. I assume we don't have our gate open. Hopefully. Nope, we don't. We shouldn't have any gankers or anything else like that. The good thing about in here is that this is a closed off area. As you can see, we have target dummies. Now, in everyone's line, regardless of what class and what level you are, etc., Underworld, under Soul Magic, you're going to have this ability called Soul Trap. Lay claim to enemy souls, dealing 1,850 damage, which is just whatever. But you put that under your bar here. Cast it. And that's going to fill up a soul gem. Now, we have... Let's see how many soul gems we've stolen there. I think we stole... Okay, yeah. We got 5 soul gems here total. Let's go cast this 5 more times. 2. Okay, now all our soul gems are filled. We don't have a stolen one because when we filled it, it became unstolen and came one of our items here. And we didn't even have to do that. Now, filled soul gems will go for about 150, 200 on the market, which is a good way to supplement your pay when you're already filled up and you've already stolen everything you can on your allotment. So if you want to know how you can make money with stealing, this is a very good way. I'll show you on the lower tune here in just a minute. Okay, guys, we're back here. Put myself over to a level 10 here. And just over up in Skywatch here, which is about a mid-area zone that we can go into. I'm going to take a look around here quickly for some stealable items here. In particular, I'm going to be looking out for those Grand Soul Gems. Again, if we can grab those, we can use those inside of PvP to fill them up, and we can get some money off that. In addition to that, you can also get other things like lockboxes here and different items you can open up as well. And this is a pretty accessible area. Almost anyone can get in here. Now, typically you can find some of the soul gems around a enchanter station or something like that. But sometimes it just doesn't show up. But usually once you find the vendor that has them, you can always find them after that. Okay, we got a lockbox here, right? Again, we're going to try using that trick again. I'm going to do it from back here. Taking my self back here a little bit. I want to see if this person's gonna, yep, gonna make us detected. Alright.
How pathetic.
Alright.
God!
Immediately get out of it. There's a guard.
Greetings.
So the good thing with this here is that as long as I escape out of it, the bounty remains small. Okay, so here's this guy here.
Be civil and
if I decide to flee, it's going to increase the cost of my bounty, but I'm just going to pay it off. This is going to take away any stolen items I have when I do turn myself in like that. If I don't want to lose the stolen items, best way is typically just to simply come in and do it. But as you can see back here, I'm going to go in. It just automatically pulls me in. Let me see if I can pull myself out of that a little bit. Sometimes I can do this, sometimes I can't. I might be too high to get this done right here. But sometimes you can find different areas you can do this at different ranges. My fear is that I'm a little bit too high. Now, let's see, if I'm over here, for example, right? Safe box. I can pick it from way over here, right? But this doesn't help me that much because I'm still detected here, so they can still see me when I try picking that open. Let me see if I can find another one that's a little bit better location for me to do that.
Greetings.
A location I can usually do this at are any locked houses too. And banks typically have a lot of guards to it. If you go for the banks that have like okay, here we're not detected right now. We see you got a safe box over there. Yeah, these guys are gonna detect me either way. Again, sometimes it's more of a Z-axis than anything else there if you want to get this thing stolen. Like, I might be able to come over to this side here, for example. From way over here. Can I get it? Can I get it? Let's see. Minion guards aware that I'm there. Nope. From over the top here. I can steal across the counter here. Again, you just got to find an area that actually works for you. Now, still looking for the soul gem vendor here, or at least the one that has. There's always a merchant that has typically a lot of soul gems just sitting around on their counters.
Greetings.
If not a vendor, it's usually like typically like a let's say like a you know, one of the guilds will have it on there, or one of the
Greetings.
simply like a high populated area. But like I said, once you find those areas inside each of your towns.
Over here, Initiate.
Yep, I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm trying to do a tutorial for these nice people. And you're interrupting it. Again, more safe boxes and all that stuff. So you can do it from this angle here. See if we can do it from way over here. Yeah, we can do it from over here, right? Doesn't really help me at all because I'm still detected, but and sometimes this happens too. The other thing that helps as well is sometimes when you go into first-person view, you can see things that you can't normally get to. Still on the hunt for that elusive soul gem vendor in this area. There's always going to be one merchant or something like that that's here somewhere. If I can't find it, well, you guys saw it earlier with the high-level character, what it looked like. But you want to find those guys early on, loot them as often as possible, and get those soul gems up there so you can, you know, turn those in, loot them back over, and then sell them off onto the market. Fighters Guild in this area is a little bit hit or miss.
How am I going to headbutt that?
Part of the problem is that this place is so massive right now for comparatively to me. I can't seem to find any right here. Oh, come on. There's got to be one here somewhere. Nope, they seem to be eluding me in this town. Oh well. I'll show off another way you can do this as well. Now sometimes you see chests here that are just kind of like they should be safe boxes, but they're not for whatever reason. You can just go ahead and open those, but I really don't know why they have some of those in there like that. They're not gonna flag you if you see a regular chest like that. Only if it says safe box and stolen. All right, I don't see it here on any of these vendors or any of these other counters. I probably just overlooked it here somewhere, but let me use this chance here though to just to show off how do you get to some of those higher level areas. So I'm Elder Dominion. I want to go find some more soul gems here. I don't want to go into these lower level areas, so I want to find it somewhere here. So I'm just gonna go to this person here, Java Who. Go right click on their name and travel to player. You can do this to anyone that's on your contact list, anyone that's in your guild, as long as they're on the same faction and you have access to the area. I'm going to be able to do this to any non-vet area as long as I'm not flagged for vet. Once I'm flagged for vet, I can go to any of the vet areas that I have access to, but then you remember you have to have like Cadwell's silver or Cadwell's gold to get into some of the other campaign faction areas. So you still have to follow those rules. But you can travel to any of those players there. Use that to get to whatever location you're looking for. Here we're in Elden Route, which is a good location as well. Just to be able to take a look around here.
Couple arrows short of a quiver, are you?
I believe if I'm going to be looking for soul gems, I might not be able to actually find it in this location either, because I never actually found the soul gem vendor on this particular area myself, unless I'm going to find it magically on stream for the first time. Which is very likely. I could just suddenly realize, oh, I'm here. It's here. I'm a freaking idiot. But, I'm doubting I'll find it. But as you can see all these areas here. Take a look around again at the chanting areas where your Magnuses are.
Greetings.
Then once you go through the first areas here, go up into your Mages Guild and your Fighters Guild and then the Palace areas, and you're going to find a bunch of different places you can steal from. So right now we're in the Mage Guild area.
If you're trying to rely on wit, I'd say you're halfway there.
You don't say. So here's our Mystic. Mystics are another good chance to have some soul gems just lying around here.
Have you found the tome?
Keep your robes on. I'll get to it as soon as I can.
I know. I'll keep looking.
But hopefully somebody in the comments of this little tutorial here is going to be, be like, you're an idiot. You should just take a look over here. It's here the entire time. Okay, well, sorry. Can't be perfect, but anyways. Hopefully you guys are learning something on where you need to take a look at for some of the stuff here. Again, you take a look at Mages Guilds and Fighters Guilds for a lot of good areas you can open up, take a look in. Yeah, thank you.
Who?
And now let's go over to pickpocketing, which is one of my most horrible skills, but I will try to show it off as well. Now, usually when I try pickpocketing... this is good, I just discovered this area. When I try pickpocketing, I try finding the richest area. Now, when you come into an area like this here, you're going to have a lot of NPCs. And you're going to have a higher chance if you're stealing from...
Can I help you?
Sorry, I shouldn't say higher chance, but a better chance at loot if you're going to be stealing it from, let's say, some of the noble folks that they have around here, or like middle class, I'd like to say, versus going to like beggar areas and stealing from them. So this guy's going to be hard.
You're not as sly as you
Even
think.
corruption has its limits.
Here. Here you go, guard. I'm not doing anything bad. Really? So that's how you fail at that. But you notice that you can easily just pay it off, come back up here. He's suspicious of me now. Gotta wait for this guard to go away.
Hands off, thief.
I'm sure you're innocent. Everybody
with
is.
that.
Does no one respect the law?
He's still suspicious of me.
This one has no choice but to report you to the guard.
Hello
Get
there.
away, parasite!
No one except me.
It was a crime.
Now notice I have 40% chance of doing this. It's not a high chance.
Will deal with you, criminal.
Touch me again and I'll take your finger.
Congratulations! You just got a bounty!
So criminal?
So I might try this like 50 or 60 times and never get it right on some of these here. A lot of these guys are going to be very hard until I actually put some of the skill points into it.
What in Ifra's name are you doing?
Talk, talk, talk. But again, part of the reason we do this here is because it's a lot better loot to do so as well. We're still detected here, so I'm trying to get myself out of it. Come on, let's get out. Let's get out. Nope. Detected at the last second there. So it's gonna go up from like the one chance, your lower chance, and then when it's green, that's the highest chance you can get on these guys. Just gotta sit here and wait. Patiently. So there, we got something. Oh, there's stuff box here. A green item, which, I mean, I failed like 3 times at that, but if I sell that off, that's 100 gold. I usually just go off and go ahead and pick something up from the containers and all that stuff, simply because I feel like it has a better chance, and I don't have to deal with it, you know?
Get your filthy paws off me!
Now, if I don't get caught by the guards, it's not counted as running away from them, so... Oh. Nope. And if you die, this is another good tutorial. They'll take my items, they'll take all the stuff I stole, and then I have to respawn. I thought I almost got away there, but as you can see, the long arm of the law very rarely lets you get you through. Now, the reason I steal from them and not the lower levels here, these guys can be a lot easier to steal from. They're about medium to, so you get like 30 to 50. But they're not necessarily going to have better items. And from what I understand, I'm not sure the percentages, but a lot of people say that you have a lot less chance for them to come back with something at a good level. Probably 2 areas that should show off here as well.
Hello.
While we're up in here. Just so this isn't a total bust. Is you can also steal things from the different guild vendors out here too. And depending on where you go and all that stuff, sometimes the guild vendors have better containers around them. A lot of people will overlook those because they'll be like, well, they're guild vendors. You can't steal anything from them. But yet they carry a lot of stuff on top of their carts. Actually, I think I just remembered where there might be a few soul gems over here. Ah, yes. This one has a few, but not a ton. As you can see here, you got a couple petty and common ones here. But what we want to get is the grand ones. Grand ones are a lot better off for us. I mean, like I said, we can fill this up pretty quickly over in Cyrodiil. Now, outside of that, if you're looking for, like, how do you build your character toward this, how you do that, or anything else like that, again, remember, you want to go into your medium armor line, get your stealthy stuff up as soon as you possible. In addition to that, your ledgermen you want to invest into, you want to get some improved hiding. You probably want to get some light fingers if you actually want to try doing pickpocketing, but I don't usually recommend it at the low levels. Trafficker, at least putting 1 point in this is worthwhile because it's going to raise your how much you can sell per day up to 150, I believe. 150, 120, I can't remember which. And then locksmith you can go with if you want to, just increases your chance of forcing locks, but again, if you're going to be doing this like non-stop, I don't recommend doing that. Or unless you're going to be doing this non-stop, I don't recommend doing that. And the kickback is useful if you want to reduce your bounties and your fences, but you really should not get yourself caught because that's going to cut your profits overall. Again, guys, if you have any questions on that, put it down in the comments. Hopefully this has been a good enough tutorial to explain how you can do this and how you can hopefully earn some money with this as well. I usually can run this maybe, let's say if I have time in a day to do so, I can usually run this and get about a good 10k or, yeah, 10k to 20k depending on how much I run, plus the cost of the soul gems on top of that for how much I sell off. Books here of none here. Just putting an addendum onto the stealing video I've already basically got done here. Basically showing you how you can go in here and up your or level up your ledgerman here in an easy way here. So you know you can get this through either fencing goods, pickpocketing, or picking locks. One of the easy ways here is coming to the newbie area. Since I'm ledgerdemain, I'm just coming on to Knarthy's Roost here, right to the south here of the town. Gotta sneak up here. Do a little bit of murder. And then collect all the game and guts. Now you might be wondering, like, what's the big deal here? Why is it such a good thing to do this? All this other good stuff. Easily with this, you can see you get 13 guts on this. About 7 games. Yeah, that's about 20 items there. You can fence without actually having any points into it. You can sell. You can basically ledgerman all that stuff off without having to put any points into the system. And with that, you can get a good amount of skill points up into your ability here. Let me just show you how that goes here. Alright, folks, and now here we're at a fence. Just going to go up and talk to him.
All this.
And it's right under here in launder. Because this stuff is so cheap, we can launder it really simply. As you can see, this raises up our ledgerman each time that we do it. It takes very little gold. And as you can see, you also get achievements through this that are going to raise up our skill level. And you can do this about 50 times a day with the normal stuff. If you get the 1 point into the trafficker here, you can increase that by 120%, which can basically get you up to, you know, a good 120 or so items, I think. So, you know, that's a good way to level it up. And, I mean, a few other ways you can do it is simply stealing, pickpocketing, which, again, is kind of risky to do. Opening locks, which means open every lockbox. But this seems to be the quickest way to get it up. So, hopefully that helps you guys. In the meantime, I hope you guys get some money with this as well.